Welcome back to Jap Scrap Off-Road. On today's episode, I'm finally going to get my arse in gear and get the gearbox back in my truck because, well, I kind of want to take her out and do a bit of wheeling in it tonight, and hey, we can't drive it how it is. The gearbox is on the floor underneath it, and, well, that makes the drive not go to the wheels and makes us doing the things complicated. I'm in the shed currently because I've just been looking for another spigot bearing because the spigot bearing in the flywheel is, well, in the best condition, let's put it that way. It's pretty. So, yeah, I've been having a look. I've abandoned this project temporarily for now. We might do a bit more later. That's as far as I got with that rock slider last night. I marked it where we're going to cut it. We're going to cut that bit off. I'm getting distracted again, boys. I might have told you I'm easily distracted. If I haven't, well, I am. So we're going to go out here and we're going to do an assessment because there's issues. So we've got a choice of clutchulation parts to look at and use, and I think that one was in not very good condition, as was, well, that's what came out of it, but that's still in okay-ish condition, so we might use that bit. We might use the slightly better or worse condition one that's there, and that bit's probably going in, but well, the spigot bearing's in there. I don't know if you boys can see, and she's, well, she's pretty notchy. She's not in great condition, I'll put it that way. So because I haven't got another spigot bearing on the shelf, thought I had, but turns out I might have used it. Whoops. Well, we're going to have to go and have an assessment of, well, that one's going to be, that's the engine we blowed up. That one there is, that's a little bit blowed up. Not completely blowed up, there's no block window. But this one here might have a good spigot bearing in. And if it does, well, I'm going to get that plate off the back there, and then I'll be back. And we'll assess that, and if that's good, then I'm going to show you the best way to remove a spigot bearing without completely clusterfucking it. It's a bit of fiddle fucking around, but I'm sure we can manage it between us. I will need your help though, because, well, especially if you've got a white coat on, might be handy. See you in a... Oh. Well, I've undone the bolts out of everything, and she's stuck. Probably shouldn't hammer on certain parts of this, but it's got to come off. Well, I don't understand. I think we're going to have to go and find a persuasive tool for making that be persuaded to come off there. So I'll be back. So I went and got a more persuasive tool to go along with the other persuasive tool, and we're going to see if we can persuade this tool to come off here. So, oh, down on the knees again. My knees will be knackered by the time I'm 50, I know. Don't really care. I'll be knackered by the time I'm 50. Oh wow. The clutch disc has is separated. Awesome. Well, this is starting to pose an issue because I'm pretty sure that this one has probably got a good thrust bearing in her, but not a thrust bearing, spigot bearing. Duh, get it right. You'd think I'd know what I was talking about by now. I've been doing this for long enough. This engine, well, That came out of a certain grey rock box that you may see the odd video or two on at some point. But the engine ain't in the greatest of health either, and it may be the next candidate to do what we tried to do with that one, if that one doesn't do the running again. Because this one's also in equally as not great condition, hence I've just left it out here in the rain. I don't know if you can see that from there, but the clutch disc is coming out in two parts, and it appears to be completely fused to this hurdy-gurdy, so mint. We'll use this as a chisel. Ah, there we go. Oh, well, I might have accidentally fiddle-fucked that a little bit. So that bit's good. No, it's still got a pattern on it. So then we got to get this bit off of here, which is, well, it's equally as good and equally as sticky. Oh, what? Is that an Exidy? I don't know. It's got that kind of colouring like it could be an Exidy. But it could also be very, very heavily impregnated. So, yeet! Whoops. Now, I don't know if you boys is going to be able to see. So, I might take you off of this hurdy-gurdy and put you onto a different hurdy-gurdy. But, oh yeah, that one feels brand new. So, I've just done the finger spinny test on the spigot bearing, and it feels brand new. So we're going to go and, well, I'm going to have to go back into the old caravan and get a certain product out, a spigot bearing removal product. And I know some of you will be telling me just go out and buy a blind bearing puller, which is excellent, but when you see the tool I'm going to use, well, she's a little on the cheap side, which is absolutely fucking mint. So I'll be back in a minute with a special tool and a special product, and then we'll get her out. Okay, so the ones who don't know what I'm doing here, who are a little bit baffled by the fact I've got a mouldy old loaf of bread out, well, that's my 75p blind bearing puller, and it is a little bit mouldy. That's why it's not being eaten. That's why it's out here being used for this. So we're just going to kind of get some. We'll take the crust off. I don't know if she likes crusts or not. I've never actually done it this way before. I normally just smash the bearing to bits until it comes out in many pieces. But this one we want to reuse, so there's that. It's all right. The crusts will be good for the Tweety birds. They'll like them. So also, any little mice is here, they can eat that instead of my wire looms. Mint. So we'll just sort of crush that up and feed it on in there and see how. I'm going to have to take the glove off. Hey, I'm Michael Jackson again, one glove, mint. Done that last night as well. Go in there, you little son of a... oh, well, we're struggling to get it in the hole. Oh, that's gone in now. Then what you do, you just, apparently, according to my mate who's an expert on this kind of thing, you just keep feeding her in there until you can't feed no more in there. And then you get a little punch and you just sort of hammer it in, and then you pack a bit more in, and then you hammer it in, and then you pack a bit more in, and then eventually that little spigot bearing in there, she'll fall right out in your hand. No need for an expensive blind bearing puller that way. So we'll give it a try, shall we? That's about as much as I can get in there at a minute. We'll get this thing here that now sexually identifies as a punch, mint. Well, that's gone all the way in, so it looks like we need more. I'm going to put the crust in as well, to hell with it. Every little helps, I guess. We'll find out if I've done it the wrong way in a minute. Probably have, probably don't really care. Oh well, that bit's missing forever now, so we'll go back to using this bit. When I went in to get the bread, Humbug looked at me. She was like, "The hell are you doing with bread?" I was like, "Well, I've got to go and fix the truck." She thinks I've lost my marbles, so I might have done actually. My mate told me this would work. He's a bit of a joker, but he also knows his stuff when it comes to vehicular maintenance and cheap ways around buying expensive tools. So, good old boy, he might have saved me a few quid. He might have caused me a load of hassle. We'll find out soon enough. Oh, lovely. You can tell this old bread's getting to the stage where it's not edible anymore because it's starting to go a little bit hurdy-gurdy-fied. Of course, the other option I've got if this don't work is I could probably pull the flywheel off the back of this engine and knock the bearing out from the other way, but I don't really want to be knocking directly against the bearing that I'm planning on reusing. Because, well, if you've got experience of bearings, they don't tend to take kindly to being having the granny thrashed out of them. Just saying. Trucks, on the other hand, if you thrash a granny out of them, they'll go forever, boys. Trust me, I'm an expert at thrashing shitbox trucks. Oh, use the other end of the hammer, it'll be better. Well, there don't appear to be much movement yet, but that don't mean we should give up. I think that means we should just keep adding bread. He did say just keep adding it, and eventually it kind of, I guess it kind of creates like a hydraulic pressure in behind the bearing as you squish the bread, because bread's squishy. I suppose you could use plasticine or Play-Doh or something similar as well. Anything like that, I guess, would work, or really, really thick grease. But the problem if you're using like thick greases, it squeeze out round the side of your punch unless your punch is a precision fit. So bread's a little bit less liquid, so it'll probably stay in there and just create a hydraulic pressurization behind it and cause it to come out. I think that's the idea behind it, as far as I can work out in my head. Anyway, in there she's going. Might need a more precise fitting punch, but unperturbed, I'm going to keep going because I'm not 100% sure whether we're nearly full of bread or whether it's just going to start squeeging out round the edges. We'll find out in a minute. Also, this gearbox here is in the perfect position to not allow me to get a real good swing on it. Well, hell, the bearing's moving already, boys. What? That has moved out by about 4mm. For you Yanks, that's a little bit of an inch. Just in case you're wondering. A little bit, one of them little lines, probably 1.5 of them. You know, the little ones on the tape measure, 1/8 or 1/16 or whatever the hell they are. I don't know what you call them. Moved out by some of them anyway. I'm going to say 4mm because I can judge 4mm. It's about the thickness of my dick. Let's put some more in then. That's working. Well, I don't know if you boys can see that that's moved or not because of where you're sitting, but you might be able to. Let's just adjust you slightly. But that is out by, I don't know, nearly 1/4 of an inch now. I'm going to add some more bread. I can't believe how easily it's letting it come out. Can't be much more holding that in there. Now she is very nearly out. I'm impressed that someone gave me some advice that sounded really stupid that's working. Normally people give me advice that sounds really stupid just to see if I'm stupid enough to try it, and I normally do just to prove that I will try anything once. Some things I'll... What? Well, there you have it. One freshly removed spigot bearing with 0 damage. Well, that is absolutely minty. That is the mintest thing I've ever come across. So, yeah. Well, boys and girl, because going by the statistics, there's one girl who keeps watching these videos. I don't know who you are, but you've obviously got bigger issues than I've got. Sorry, I'm taken. Get over it. Well, I was going to record the removal and installation of the new spigot bearing. I caught it on the time-lapse camera. Unfortunately, the mini action camera that was set up on top of the time-lapse camera decided to, instead of recording, turn itself off, so I don't think it caught anything, which is mint. So I'll show you now. The new one is in. She's minty, she spins a treat. We used not very much bread. We literally used the crust off a slice of bread to do it. I'll show you the difference here now. So there's what's left. Where are you? There's what's left of the slice we used. There's a fresh slice, and let me get it the right way up so it's the same way. I don't know if you can tell, but we didn't use much bread to get that out, and the bread we used now looks like this, and I'm not going to eat it. I did eat a little bit. Extra penicillin and all that's always good for you, apparently. So I'm now going to go and fiddle fuck my way into trying to get the gearbox back in, and I'll set you up to watch. I was going to try and put the little come-along winch on the roof on a bar, because there's a sunroof in this model, you can pull them out. Unfortunately, somebody, might have been me, I'm not saying anything, has fitted a bit of a roof racky kind of affair to mount lights to, and well, the bar's right in the way, and I'm not removing the whole roof rack just to open the sunroof to put the gearbox back in. So I'm going to try putting some sort of a frame or jig or something on across the seats, and then we'll winch off that and lift the gearbox up, and then hopefully I can just swing it into place and it'll all line up and be mint. Before I do that though, I have realised there is that one other thing I've got to do. I've got to put a clutch in. So I've established I've got a clutch alignment tool. It's a universal model, so it should fit this clutch perfectly. I'm going to use this hurdy-gurdy here because, well, it beats that other one out there, which is, this is the one that actually came out of the rig. This is genuine Exody. And that one out there, I'm not sure what it is, and it's quite rusty. So we won't use that, but this also came out of the rig and is a little bit not very good, so we're going to use that rusty one down there, because although it's rusty, it's still in decent nick. So the first thing I've got to try and work out is what one of them fits in the middle there, I guess. Well, I think that's what I've got to do, and then I've got to work out which one fits in the spigot bearing. So, not that one. That one's an alright fit. What about the next one down? Because they are tapered. No, that one's too loose. So we want that one. Then we want the bit out that we can't get out. No, really. No, we do want you out, you awkward little twat. Yeah, but without you out, we can't work. And then I think this is one I modified to fit. Let me just double check that that one doesn't fit. No, that one doesn't fit. That one also doesn't fit. No, so we're going up in size. So the smaller one, let me put that down a minute. The smaller one I've got here is the one that fits. Alright, well, I'm going to put you boys up on the thing, on the time-lapse camera, and that can watch as well. So we're in the shed and there's a spanner in the vise, and you're probably wondering why. Well, that bit on the end there, she's virtually snapped off, and she's not very thick. She's fairly well worn through, as you can see. So what I was figuring is that, you know, that's basically that, and that spanner ain't used anymore. So I'm going to cut the end off that, cut the end off here, and weld them together. I'll do you a little time lapse on the time lapse camera, because this camera's batteries are fucking shotty. Right, boys. If anyone ever tells you you can't weld part of a chrome vanadium spanner to a cast steel, cast iron, I don't know, it's a bit of cast clutch arm, send them my way, because they're full of fucking shit. Obviously there are a few steps and precautions to take before fitting a part like this to a rig. First one is to let it cool down fairly and check it for cracks, and well, there ain't no fucking cracks. And the next part is you've got to drop forge it. So you get it, the end you've welded on down, do that. It chips the lump out of the concrete. It's still on there at the same angle it was. It's fucking mint, mate. She ain't going nowhere under clutch pedal pushing. Time to do some sketchy stuff. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Do-da-do-da-day. She's going in slowly. Yo, so it's another day. Yesterday went, well, it went. It went and it got dark, and Freddie came over, and well, we managed to get that fucking old lump back up in the old her, and well, we put it in and then had to take it out again because there were issues, and then we put it in again and the issues came back, but we managed to modulate a way around them. So then we had issues with the cross member. The bolt holes appear to not line up anymore, like the chassis got a bit too skinny and I can't work it out, and we can work it out, and we hammered it across as far as it'll go across that way, and it still don't want to go in. So I think today's job is going to be to get a bottle jack between there and over there and splay the rails apart until that fits, and then put the bolts in and then let the jack out. Because, well, I can't see any way of doing it other than that. So I'm going to crack on. I've got the humbug here helping me today. Look, she decided to come and help. So look, hello humbug. Mwah, loves you. So she's going to be out here getting cold and complaining, and I'm going to be under there getting cold and complaining, and it's going to be awesome. Not quite as frosty today, but it's windy, so I'm going to be stressed. I don't like the wind. If you like the wind, you're fucking retarded. Have some. Well, boys, I don't know quite how well you can see us. There's a humbug over there. we've put the work light in the back so you can actually see something, because the old camera, she ain't got night sight on it. The rig's running again. She's running. Running and working and doing the thing what she does best, you know. Keeps on doing it, and if she does, well, she's fucking mint, boys. So we'll be back with you once we get off the farm. That's if she makes it off the farm. If she don't make it off the farm, we'll be back with you when we breaks down. How's about that? I've got a little hang on, I'll show you. Oh fuck, I've just hit a tree. There's a little GoPro mount on the bonnet there. I don't know if you can see. We'll try lighting him up there. We'll stick you in there and do a bit of a time lapse of the layman session if you want. We'll do that. And we've got the other big camera up there that's not currently doing anything. I'm just waiting for it to fall off and smash. That'll be absolutely fucking mint, you know, 100%. We'll be back in a bit. Have fun and keep feeding her the fucking onions. Hang that out the window so I can forward so you can hear what's going on. She runs and drives again and goes a bit like a stabbed rat, so she's minty. And we've had a light laying session, and yeah, I've got a clutch, I've got working gears, and she's going alright. So we're now sitting down by the gate waiting for the Domino's delivery driver to turn up, because that saves him having to drive his car up our rough old track. Fucking minty. Like, comment and subscribe, or whatever you want to do, or just go and have a quick tug, or grab a cold one out of the fridge. I don't really care. Do what you want, I do. And keep your eyes out for more minty productions from us. We're going to keep doing it, because some of you seem to like it. Some of you say I should quit my day job and just keep on making YouTube videos, but you know, someone's got to pay for this, and Domino's is expensive, and I like Domino's. Old shitbox rigs ain't that expensive, and I like them as well, but they do still cost. And as for fuel, well, since that Russian rat doing what he started doing, that's the whole prices is getting high, and that's not great. I'm great, but that's just not great. Sooner someone does him in, the better. See yous another day.